Although it was evident that the Bears were outplayed completely by the Chiefs starters, you have to give them a whole bunch of credit for fighting back. Down 17 points, 27-10, second half. Tyson Bagent throws 3 passing touchdowns. Bears score with 2 seconds left, take the 28-27 lead, and they beat the Chiefs to end their preseason. You know that it's not meaningful, right? But you do know that Ben Johnson has to like that, and there's a little smirk, there's a little wry smile for a lot of Bears fans. Like, that was a little bit of a difference. Like, you saw Chiefs players getting a little bit chirpy, having a good time on that sideline, and they leave with just a little bit of a foul taste in their mouth. Great performance by Tyson Bagent. Bears battle back. The Chiefs had a spectacular first half. Looked like they were in postseason Super Bowl form. Chicago, not so much. They had some struggles on the offensive line, defensively stopping Patrick Mahomes. A lot of people have had a tough time stopping Patrick Mahomes since he has become a starting quarterback. Let's start on the Chicago side of things offensively, because that's where all of the attention has been after the additions of Drew Dalman at center, Joe Thuney from Kansas City. He comes over in that trade for the 4th round pick. And then, of course, Jonah Jackson, the right guard. It seemed pretty evident that Chris Jones was the best player on the football field on Friday. He had a very big sack in this game. Caleb Williams is running for his life a little bit. He had a very nice connection with Odunze late in the second quarter, right before the end of the first half. He had a 50-50 opportunity, released the ball, got absolutely smacked on that play. Odunze, though, this is where I really want to harp on. He was spectacular. 50-50 balls at Washington with the Huskies. He was as good as anybody. Him, Marvin Harrison Jr. with the best 50-50 ball targets. It's more like a 70-75-25 scenario. He doesn't come up with the catch. Next play with the 25-yard gain, breaks the tackle, tackled at the 3-yard line, and then Caleb hits him for the score. Offensively, though, out of sorts. You saw a little bit of the protection break down. Caleb had to scramble and run for his life a couple of times. So definitely some negative signs, a lot of what we have seen throughout training camp. Caleb struggled a little bit getting to line of scrimmage. We saw the pre-snap penalties, and then defensively, to go to next, the Chicago Bears had a number of struggles. Defensively, they weren't getting to Patrick Mahomes. When you want to start with where you want to come up with a game plan, it's let's put pressure on the quarterback, let's stop the run. Well, they couldn't stop the run all that well, and Mahomes was explosive. This is going to be a Chiefs offense that is going to look a whole lot more like what they used to be with Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman a couple of years ago, and they were the most explosive team in the National Football League. So Rashid Rice had a big play. We know that Xavier Worthy is going to be a huge threat. We saw Travis Kelce catch the football. The Chiefs already look like they are in form. They put up 20 points in the first half. Now, on the defensive side of things for Chicago, not everybody was out there on the field. They have the acquisitions. Grady Jarrett there in the middle. Andrew Billings is kind of like an acquisition because he was out for the majority of last season. They also bring in the edge. That's such an important spot for Chicago. You think of the Bears, you think of great linebackers, really good defense. Well, Dayo Odeyingo they brought over from the Colts to fit into Dennis Allen's 4-3 scheme, 6'6", 280 pounds. But they were not getting pressure on Patrick Mahomes. He had time to throw. He was able to get the ball out without any duress. And then in the secondary, the biggest question mark after last year in the secondary has been Tyrique Stevenson. Because of the complete turmoil that came after the Commander game, we're not going to get into that, but that was on Stevenson on that last play of the game on the Hail Mary. But he got beat. 50-50 ball on that fade route. Stevenson gets beat for that touchdown, and it's not like he's not ready. It's not like he's trying to give up the touchdown on purpose. He gives that up, and it's like, okay, that's definitely a little bit of a red flag. He gave up that touchdown. Jalen Johnson does appear that he will be back in time to start against the Vikings in that very large Monday night game. What's nice is that Jordan Addison is not going to be out there on the field against Chicago, which is a huge help because that duo between Addison and Jefferson, my gosh, if it's not a top 3, top 4 wide receiver duo in the NFL. And of course, J.J. McCarthy being a first-career starter, his first career start, that's a tough task for J.J., as well as, of course, the Chicago defense. Now, the Chiefs' offensive line, we, of course, have spoken on this show a lot about Josh Simmons. You might be asking, why have we talked about Josh Simmons? Because he was an Ohio State Buckeye. We are very big Ohio State Buckeye fans, and we cover them quite a bit, maybe a little bit too much, some would say. But Josh Simmons, he is going to be so important for Kansas City this season. Of course, he's protecting the blind side for Mahomes, but he slid in that draft. There's no doubt about it. He could have been a top 15 selection in the 2025 NFL draft had he not had the knee injury against Oregon, where he misses the rest of the year. Give a little bit of kudos to Donovan Jackson, who slid out to left tackle. Not going to fully break that all down. We've already talked about that on this show. But Josh Simmons, he's the key to this whole thing, keeping Mahomes upright and him continuing to establish himself in that spot. He could be that guy for the Chiefs for the next 8-10 years if all goes well. He's got the athleticism, the hand strength, the footwork to be able to do it. But very impressed by Patrick. He looked clean, composed, confident. Had a couple of nice scrambles to go along with a couple of deep balls. Everything part of his game looks to be there. He hasn't missed a beat, and any concerns that the Chiefs fans might have about the offense, about the defense, are going to be fully answered. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you have to be happy about Carl Loftus, about Chris Jones filling in there. Well, of course, they have lost so many pieces over the last couple of years because of having to move the cap around. Of course, a guy like Mahomes on that contract, it's going to be tough to keep all of your key players. Once you go back to Chicago, of course, let's talk about the number 1 overall pick in 2024, Caleb Williams. The biggest thing for Caleb is being confident. Confidence is everything, especially as a quarterback in the NFL. The new first-year head coach in this marriage of the two of them, and he gets the contract, Ryan Poles gets the extension. They need Caleb to look good early so that the media, so that the fans in Chicago can have a little bit of a sense of comfortability. Need a win either week 1 against Minnesota or against Detroit to get a feel for things early on in the season. But Caleb did look good. He looked quite good in the preseason, rolling on the run. He was able to find a couple of guys. The pass to Loveland in the first game was very nice to see over the middle. In this game, finding in the middle of the field, we talked about Odunze, so that was a great job by him. And the scramble ability, we saw him on that left side. So overall, a very good preseason for Caleb Williams. In a bright spot on that offense, DeAndre Swift looks like he's going to have a lot of fun running behind this new look offensive line. So overall, definitely would give the Bears about a B- on offense. Give him a D, did not pass whatsoever. Defense and the Chiefs all around have to give them an A. They look like they are good to go for the start to the 2025 regular season. So that wraps up Bears versus Chiefs, a very fun game to watch, whether you're a Chiefs or a Bears fan. And that's it. We're going to be coming out with more content for both these teams leading up to both of their games to start the 2025 regular season. That's right. Football is back. The start of the regular season is here. We are fired up for it. I'm sure you are too. Please stay tuned for more content coming out. We will be coming out with stuff every single day with the season following it. It is our favorite thing to do, our favorite time of year, and as I know, it is probably yours too. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blunder. Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Blunder.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinosa to the 20.